This week we watched Sinners and One Battle After Another, which were both nominated and won multiple Oscars this year. They were both shot on analog film. And not only just regular Academy 35 analog, Sinners is shot on IMAX, it's shot on Panavision 70, and One Battle After Another is shot on VistaVision, which is a format from the 1950s that's been kind of reincarnated through the film The Brutalist, and now it's been used for a handful of movies.
Was it used on The Brutalist, and that's what kind of brought it back? Because
I believe so, yeah.
VistaVision, for those who don't know, is a slightly larger frame. It's actually, instead of oriented up and down on a film reel, it's actually rotated sideways, so it's double the length of any 35 millimeter projection. It's usually used for like Star Wars shot their VFX on that against blue screen because it just has more detail, and it's kind of fell out of popularity, but apparently it's back.
Yeah, that's basically it. They just run the film through it horizontally to get a bigger frame, and they also use this on Begonia recently.
Okay, wow. So it's really had a resurgence of sorts.
It's had a resurgence, and it's such an awkward camera system that it must be very difficult to work with. You know, it has the film mag running horizontally and all that.
I mean, back in the day when you were trying to project these, you also had to have VistaVision projectors in the movie theaters where you had it where it's running through sideways.
Yeah. When they did releases for these movies, they would have to like pull VistaVision projectors out of museums and whatnot just to make it work, which is also very silly. They probably did 4 screenings of this movie projected on VistaVision. You're never really seeing it on VistaVision.
Right, because I think at that point probably it's been shot on VistaVision, scanned, digitally edited, transferred back to VistaVision print.
The big irony to all this is they keep, pushing this to have bigger pieces of film to, I guess, get more of a novelty out of a theatrical film, but then you end up watching these movies on streamers and they just look like shit anyways.
Yeah, they're gonna be compressed to hell and it's just gonna look like trash on your home
Sinners
theater.
Specifically, the first time I watched it on HBO, it was maybe I wasn't getting good Wi-Fi that day or whatever, but the blacks were just falling apart so much.
My goodness, because
a dark movie streaming looks so bad.
So bad. For whatever reason, black and white really clips out when you start getting lower bit rates. Yeah. And that's what happens when you're streaming, and that just happens. And for a movie like Sinners, where half of the movie is like just a deep black, I could see how that would be ucky look.
Sinners was directed by Ryan Coogler, the filmmaker behind Black Panther and the Creed films, and stars Michael B. Jordan as twin brothers Smoke and Stack in a dual role that won him the Oscar this year for Best Actor. Naming the 2 main characters Smoke and Stack is probably one of the worst writing choices in the film.
I don't know. There was also some other questionable parts as far as the writing goes. I see why it didn't win for writing.
Okay.
Just because, but at the same time, the movie did work for me. This is me as a filmmaker nitpicking. If this isn't a TV show, you don't have to start out every movie showing me what happens later and being like, this is a teaser, what you're gonna see, and then jump back. We don't need to fast forward so we can go backward and then catch up with what we already were teased at the beginning. And every movie feels like it's doing this nowadays.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it when TV shows do it. Like, I'm watching this fucking TV show. Don't show me all the goddamn spoilers so I know what's going to happen in this fucking episode. You just showed me. I don't have to watch the episode anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it had issues with the beginning and end of Sinners. The plot revolves around these twins. They made some money like robbing the mob in Chicago or something. It's kind of like alluded to, but nobody ever really tells you what happened. And they've returned home to Mississippi to start what's called a juke joint. And the blues music that the establishment provides has a duality where it's therapeutic, but it also attracts evil. Evil in the way of Irish vampire named Remick.
It's not just like calming, it's transcendent. The music is a metaphor for like religion almost, like cultural religions. Like religion itself has been forced upon the people of the world, and that's a theme that comes out throughout this movie. It's just like religion being forced on you, but music transcends the bounds. We've been playing music since the dawn of man, and so there is something more inherently human to music than necessarily religion, and I thought that was a neat thought on it. But
yeah, and this movie's been compared a lot to From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Not only is it about fugitives battling ethnic vampires in a bar, but it also has similar themes and kind of hits the same plot beats even.
Yeah, halfway through the movie, it turns into a vampire movie.
It tries to do the halfway through tone shift.
Right.
Which, if anything, I think this movie doesn't necessarily pull off that tone shift as well as From Dusk Till Dawn. It's probably a better movie than From Dusk Till Dawn.
I think so. I think the character's a little more redeemable. I like people a little bit more before the vampire slaughter begins, you know? And so, in fact, the movie, I feel like we didn't even need vampires for it to still work.
The vampire aspect of this movie is almost like the least interesting part of it.
Honestly, yeah.
But even to just reiterate that there's so much of this that is similar to From Dusk Till Dawn. Like, even the preacher's son and, like, the questioning faith is almost... It's definitely... He had to be aware of this.
Oh, sure.
But it's basically Black From Dusk Till Dawn. And I know I'm not the first to make that comparison, but it's definitely apt. And also, notably, this movie is extremely horny. That's another big theme in it, is like sex and sin and promiscuity. If Sinners teaches you anything about the world, it's that all white people are bad and all black people are very horny.
Love cunnilingus. Man, if someone's talking about something, it's probably cunnilingus in this movie.
Yeah.
They really love that, and I get it. I love cunnilingus too.
But every white person in this movie is evil.
Yeah.
And then the lady who's half black, half white is like the one who lets all the evil.
Yeah, right. She lets the evil.
What exactly are they trying to say with this film, Russ?
I was also trying to wrap my head around that, and I think it really comes to it's colonialism. You know, it's like this thing has tainted.
Then why Irish vampires?
Because here
these are the people that have been the victims of colonialism.
Right? Yeah, which is why it parallels the black story here in America.
I didn't understand the fucking ending of this movie with the Klan and then with the fucking them at the bar. It felt like
there was
so
like
unnecessary.
There was like 2 or 3 different endings to this movie, and if you don't stick around once the credits start to watch that ending scene, I think it's a super important scene, you know? No?
Oh, well, the scene with them in New York?
Yeah, in the future. Yeah.
I thought that scene ruined the whole movie.
It ruins the whole
movie. Suddenly, the characters from the movie don't act anything like they do in the movie, and it doesn't make any sense.
Like which one? Sammy or
the vampires at the end? Suddenly, Stack and was that the girl's name? Sammy?
I don't know. No, Sammy was the guitar player,
the blues musician.
Yeah.
So then at the end, they're just in a bar, like, "Hey, remember when we ate all your friends? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that crazy?"
Well, they made a promise to not, like, he made a promise to his brother to disappear and not kill Sammy, right?
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what they say.
That makes more sense.
No, he comes into the bar.
But it just felt like suddenly they're not acting like the same characters from earlier in the movie. I could have done without that whole ending.
I mean, Stack changes once he turns into a vampire. Right. He first is a fun-loving guy who he'll lie to you, but it's really for good reasons, and he's not really a violent guy. And once he turns into a vampire, that's the opposite. He's gonna murder, and he doesn't really.
Yeah, I will say, you know, for the role that Michael B. Jordan won the Oscar for, I couldn't fucking tell these characters apart at all.
No, they could be the same guy.
I would have just gotten confused if nobody had
one's got a blue hat.
Smoke or Stack.
One's got a red hat, so they're obviously different.
So I don't know
if it's Mario and Luigi.
If it's just a bit of because it was the big movie this year, they wanted to give Michael B. Jordan the Oscar, or if it's just because they feel like they kind of owe him because he's been nominated a lot and hasn't gotten it. But it seems like a kind of an unremarkable role to win for.
Honestly, yeah. And actually, kind of the same for One Battle After Another as well. Not to.
What do you mean for winning
as
Best
far
Picture?
As Best Actor?
Did they win Best Actor?
Yeah, I think so.
How can both win Best Actor?
Is that not the case? I thought it won like six Oscars or something, didn't it? One Battle After Another.
It did, but I figured
one award.
If Michael B. Jordan won for Best Actor, then nobody else won for Best Actor.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense, right?
What's great about this movie is like it's thematically strong. It has actual ideas and it like explores these themes through characters, which stands in stark contrast to the next film that we're going to be talking about, which is Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, which you know it has entertaining performances, it has some funny moments,
sure,
but it feels like this movie is trying to make some sort of like profound political statement and it doesn't really know how to do that.
I also kind of felt that way. Like, what was its stance beyond like?
Also, I don't understand what the fuck's going on in this movie. What are these revolutionaries trying to accomplish? Where are they getting their resources? Like, none of it really makes any sense.
Maybe that's the point, though. Bigger
Yeah,
metaphors, It's like I was trying to think about it after because I also kind of felt the same way. I watched Sinners and this one back to back because I was like, well, let's see, these big Oscar winners or whatever. And I found Sinners a lot more compelling. I really enjoyed Sinners, from start to end. Whereas this one, I didn't not enjoy one battle after another, but after it was over, I wasn't really thinking about it as much as I was Sinners,
Yeah, I mean, like Sinners, I will say I think my criticism of Sinners would be probably the writing. I don't love Ryan Coogler's writing. I think sometimes it's a little bit cheesy and a little bit on the nose.
Right.
He's not a great writer. He's almost like a B-movie writer.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to give me a spoiler at the beginning just so you can tease some cool shit that's going to happen later. Just give it to me straight, man.
But then it's like a pretty solidly made movie. Whereas sometimes I think maybe I like Paul Thomas Anderson's writing more. But this movie was a fucking mess. And also, I will say, I enjoyed the cinematography in Sinners a little bit more. Not that the cinematography in One Battle didn't have a couple of cool flourishes, but it was a bit unremarkable, and even like at times kind of looked shitty.
Sure.
At times kind of looked like really blown out, and like I don't know if they're trying to play with that look or make it look like a '70s movie, give it a vintage feel. The car chase was kind of cool
at the end there with the humps. Like I think the editing, it won for best editing, and I think the editing there really did the heavy lift work. Like it really built that tension in that final scene without needing crazy car like ripping around corners or anything.
Yeah, well, that's how it was kind of sold to me. It was that this movie has amazing car chases, like 70s-esque car chases. And then I watched it. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's got 70s-esque car chases. This isn't Bullet at all. It's not even French Connection. There's some good scenes with cars, but it's not, it's not a car chase movie.
If anything, the whole time I was watching this, I just kept thinking about, like, man, what a waste of fucking money shooting on his VistaVision. Like, it doesn't even look good. They could have saved $100 million or something like $40 million or something fucking huge, probably
because the film and processing
just on the film stock and processing and all
special
that.
Cameras and whatever the hell, crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you So obviously they're different films.
Yeah.
But
and Sinners won the Oscar for best cinematography.
Yeah.
Maybe that's fair enough. It is a big, IMAX Panavision 70 movie.
As I was watching it, that movie again, it really crushes the blacks, which is great. And because of that, I feel like you get a lot of like the sky. The sky isn't blown out ever. You get like great clouds, just beautiful sunsets. And then and I was looking at some production stills, and the sets are really lit. Like it is bright in that room, and then in post, or maybe even as the camera,
just the speed of the film.
It just really makes the shadows so deep.
The color palette of the movie is very natural. It doesn't really like lean into the teal orange thing that movies usually do. It's a little bit more natural.
Do you think that that whole look was achieved through like using ND filters, or do you think it's like it was a higher?
I'm sure they're using filters, but also
ISO or whatever?
Just when you're shooting on film, I'm assuming you're probably shooting at like a higher ISO, not a higher ISO as in more light sensitive, like a lower number ISO. Mm-hmm. So I assume it's just you need a lot of light to expose the film.
Sure.
Who knows? I have no experience shooting on IMAX, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure it was quite a process.
Sure.
I also don't. I think I heard that they had Kodak or somebody make them special film, and I forget what film they had. It was a film that's very known in the still world, and they had it turned into a film stock.
Oh, interesting.
But I forget what it was.
For Sinners.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it was an ISO 400 film, but I really don't remember. I'm assuming it was probably something like that, which is probably why they need so much light.
So much light, yeah. I mean, you're also your cast is predominantly black, so dark skin.
Yeah, it is. But they also they were comfortable letting people be very dark.
Yeah.
And let people with dark skin tones be very dark, which is interesting because sometimes people are very worried about that in production and almost overly worried about it. It's like, people are dark.
People have different skin tones, yeah.
It's a horror movie, so you can lean into the dramatic lighting for sure.
Right.
But it's again, the vampire shit, I guess it was fine. I mean, the special effects were cool. The vampires looked cool.
Yep.
Some of it was a little bit like unoriginal and uninteresting. The tone shift wasn't great.
Yeah, the whole fighting and everything at the end was fine. Yeah. But anyway, enough about Sinners.
It could have ended sooner. That would have saved that movie for me if it didn't have those stupid little tacked on endings. But yeah, I do think it was generally better than One Battle After Another, and better as far as the cinematography goes. One Battle After Another stars Leonardo DiCaprio in perhaps his most challenging role, wherein he's romantically involved with a woman over 25.
Got him.
Got his ass. He looks so old in this movie
He
too.
really
Like
does.
even in the first part, 18 or 16 years before his daughter is of age or whatever, he's just like, dude, this dude's 50.
Well, he is 50. What do you know? What do you want? You want him to de-age him? They could have.
But I kind of get it because Leo was excellent in this role. He is great. He is funny.
Yeah, he's charming enough despite being like a deadbeat stoner, you know?
Yeah, and he carries the movie. He really
Yeah.
is the most entertaining part of the whole film.
Sure.
So I don't know. It felt like kind of a waste of Paul Thomas Anderson's talents. He's such a great filmmaker.
And this movie
one-
also starts out super horny. It's like, hey,
Was it
we're
super horny?
revolutionaries. Jerk off at gunpoint.
Yeah. Both of these movies were very horny.
Weird. Sexual assault straight out the gate. And we're like supposed to be like, yeah. You know?
I don't think these characters exist. Like I don't think it's real. It's just
Well, it's definitely not real. But that's what, it's metaphor, it's satire. You don't.
It's
It doesn't
definitely
have
satire.
to be actually.
I think part of why it doesn't work is because it doesn't kind of go all the way into like goofy satire. It kind of tries to still be like a serious movie.
Right. Sure.
But I don't think there's like a secret white supremacist group. Like, and what are they doing? What is their purpose?
I don't know. They're meeting underground and like killing their own for sleeping with black people.
Yeah.
Again, maybe
It's like,
maybe
no, they're planning wars in the Middle East. That's what they're doing.
maybe
They're fucking-
yeah, no, definitely. But maybe it's not supposed to be metaphorical for like an actual group, but group mindset. Mindset of someone's less than someone else.
yeah, sure.
But either way, the movie didn't really get me thinking about too much. Other than like, oh, that was interesting performances. And,
Yeah, the performances were solid. It was definitely had some funny moments. It's not completely irredeemable, but I don't know if I can necessarily recommend it. Maybe I'll give someone 2 stars.
2 stars, okay.
I don't know if that's too harsh. It's not the worst thing I've ever
No, yeah, I'll probably give it 3 stars. It's middle of the road. I'd give Sinners 4 as well, just because I think it was a better movie. And yeah, here this kind of middle of the road in terms of actual movie, and then also metaphor and meaning, middle of the road.
Yeah.
What are we reading into?
Yeah. It's ironic because I feel like I get a sense that Paul Thomas Anderson should be able to make a film better than Ryan Coogler, but Ryan Coogler kind of beat his ass this time. Mm-hmm. Maybe Paul Thomas Anderson's getting a little bit over the hill.
I mean, what else has he done that was good though?
Some of the best
Coogler
movies.
made Black Panther 1, 2. All 3 Creed movies.
He made all 3 Creed.
All 3 Creed movies, Gary.
It's kind of funny, I guess they pulled a lot of costumes from this movie from the failed production of Blade. Like, could Marvel, or are these people in Hollywood so bad at making money that they couldn't put 2 and 2 together and just have fucking Ryan Coogler make Blade? Like, was that hard for them to figure out? Let's have the guy who made Black Panther make Blade. Here's a huge check.
People would see Blade.
Yeah.
People would definitely see Blade.
Yeah.
But, Wesley Snipes, he's kind of fallen out of favor after the whole tax evasion
Michael
thing.
B. Jordan, brother.
Oh, yeah.
He got a new Blade.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, recast him.
Shit, if he could play 2 guys, he could play one old-ass vampire, dude.
Make him play all the vampires.
Yeah.
Fuck it. But
on set, they had to call one character Michael A. Jordan and one character Michael B. Jordan. So they didn't get confused.
And then his stunt double, Michael C.
Michael
Jordan.
C. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you guys know, if you guys have your own thoughts on One Battle After Another, what the fuck is it about? Please tell us in the comments, because 2 stars, 3 stars,
Well, they say Paul Thomas Anderson might have a weird sexual fetish for black women, and Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish. Mm-hmm. So if they were to combine their creative energies together, they would make a great film that would have a lot of black women's feet.
I love it. I would watch that.
Would you watch that?
Can it be 3 hours as well?
It has to be.
Yeah, because it's PT.
It's also going to have to be shot on some sort of weird film format that hasn't been used in 50 years. So the production's going to be quite expensive.
Definitely.
But
Worth
the grain on the soles of the feet.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, P.T. Anderson and Quentin Tarantino. That movie's gonna be 15 hours fucking long. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man. I once read that Fiona Apple had to hang out with Quentin Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson in a movie theater while they were doing coke. And then after that, she never did coke again.
Is that right?
And she also never watched a movie again.
Oh.
It also completely ruined movies for her.
Anyway, let us know if we ought to watch any other Oscar winners.
I'll let you know, Russ. Don't fucking ask them.
Yeah.
Don't mind with them.
Don't look at me.
Don't talk to them, Russ. I'll tell you what we're watching next. And it's Faces of Death.
To create images is always a challenge. Digital magic.